Hello everyone, welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound. I am your host, Sean, and today we are going to go ahead and take a look in a vacuum the most impactful US coin varieties from the last 10 years. Now this is an important video as we get into what is generally a very busy season for coin roll hunting and just overall searching of change. This is going to matter, okay? In general, the most important thing you need to know about these varieties is they are very sought after today. They are going to be coins that are going to be recognizable as major varieties for years and decades to come. And third, these coins will disappear from obscurity in probably the next 20 years. And I'm going to tell you why here as we go through them. Now, it's no surprise that most of the coins on the list are indeed Lincoln cents. Again, I've stressed this in all my other videos. It is the most widely collected. It is the consummate go-to US coin denomination, series, whatever you want to call it, because of its ease of accessibility in the marketplace and its affordability to an extent. So if you're going through your change looking for something spicy, a piece of treasure, what have you, if you're not looking for any of these coins, okay, you might be doing yourself a disservice. So the first set of coins that I wanted to take a look at are what I would consider to be the linchpin doubled die obverses from between 2009 to current. Believe it or not, in every conceivable date since 2009, there is, in one aspect or another, a recognizable double die. Now, what we got to keep in mind, this is a new age of doubling on coins. Okay, we have converted from the older type of manufacture of coins from the 60s and 70s to today with the higher technology. Okay, we have something called the single squeeze press, where you're not going to have some of the most radical doubling like you would normally see on a 1972 or a 69S. You know, coins that really, when you stare at them, will make you go blind. So the first set of coins I wanted to talk about here, okay, this one right here is the 2015 Lincoln Shield cent. Unfortunately, most of the coins on the list are going to be Philadelphia manufactured coins. Okay, these are going to be coins produced strictly at that facility. And as some of you may or may not know, okay, generally you have lesser quality control standards through the Philadelphia Mint. Now, some will say no, they do. Well, when you have varieties and errors that come out of that particular minting facility in greater quantities, then yes, all right, they are kind of a problem child, you know, in terms of their expectations. But as us as collectors, we thrive on stuff like this. So this 2015 that you see on screen here is what is called the DDO001. So it's the first classified double die obverse for this particular date. You'll see a lot of notching in the date. This is actually one variety that I've never found up until I made a little bit of a trade with a patron of mine, and he had sent me one of these examples. And I'm going to go into another video as we ramp up into the coin roll hunting season, specifically what this coin looks like. But this one right here is very noticeable under 10 times power magnification, which is pretty light for viewing varieties. Actually, it's just right for viewing varieties. If you have to go stronger than that, then it's not that big of a deal. This coin right here exhibits some pretty wild spread. Okay, you'll see notching where I have designated various arrows on this video for this particular date. This is one you're going to have to keep an eye out on. To even a similar degree, Liberty is going to show quite a bit of spread, okay? The letters will appear stretched, okay, which is a typical point of reference with a single squeeze press doubled die coin. You're going to see more stretching. You're going to see less of the notching, less of the spread, like a typical, double die would show. And finally, In God We Trust will show quite a bit of spread as well. Okay, this one's very noticeable. Now, in the secondary market, these coins command a nice chunk of money. Okay, typically one that comes out of circulation, not super high end in grade, will typically command between that $20 and $30 range. Just to have an example, it's a good idea to pick one up so that way you could reference it when you're trying to find coins, especially for you folks who are located on the east coast of the US. You guys have a tremendous treasure trove of some of these varieties. So the next one I want to talk about here today is going to be a 2011. Okay, this is the big one for the date. This is double die obverse number 4. As you can see here in the date, you have quite a bit of spread. Okay, you have that stretching look to all of the letters and the numbers. Okay, so the date looks quite a bit stretched. It's kind of oblong, and that's how you know that you have a double to die. Again, you'll want to have magnification of about 8 times power to 10 times power to be absolutely sure. If you have to go stronger than that, then maybe there's probably nothing there. But this is another noticeable coin. Now, I'm going to leave out a few coins. I'm not going to talk about every single one of them because I'll be here all day. But this particular example, this is the big one that you're going to keep an eye out on for. This one is also a little bit more valuable in the marketplace. Okay, these coins typically command between that $30 to $50 range in grades of about AU to low mint state. All right, so it's a nice find and it's worth money to those people that want to get into some of the more recent, more modern varieties, whereas some of those older ones are just way too cost prohibitive to even own. So the next one I wanted to take a look at here is the newest model on the block. It's to 2019. This is the one that was discovered by Lincoln Cent guru Chuck Daughtry. He was the one that reported on this one through the social media feeds. At the time in which the brand new 2019 Philadelphia Lincoln Cents finally came out, which was sometime around March, he actually put out a bounty to buy boxes of these coins. I forgot how much he asked. I have to say it's somewhere around $100. But his main motivation to paying up for $25 boxes of Lincoln Cents when they first come out is to be one of the first people to find new double die coins, so that way he could attribute them himself and take the credit, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. That's the way to do it. But this one right here has pretty nice doubling, especially on Liberty. You're going to want to take a look for this coin right here. These are plentiful along with your 2018s and 17Ps that are out there. Keep in mind the 2017s have a physical mint mark on there. So the next one I wanted to also bring up was a 2018. Now take a real close look at this one. This is probably the most incredible spread out of any double die on the list I've talked about. Now there is one other coin that I didn't discuss, the 2014. That one also deserves quite a bit of praise. But the 2018 here looks like an old school doubled die, where you can actually see the notching and the overall spread and the differentiation between one to the other, from one not so much strike, but from one digit to another digit that's doubled. This is a coin right here that's worth a lot of money. If you're able to find one, and this is the most difficult date out of the last 10 years worth of doubled die obverse Lincoln Shield Cents, this is the most toughest date to find of this particular doubled die. Now this is double die obverse number 1. This is the big one. But under magnification, make no mistake about it, this is going to pop. And it's going to be easy to decipher and know exactly what you have. Obviously, the numbers and lettering are going to be extra thick, but you could see that splitting on there as if there was another 8 punched, you know, or another 2, or another 1, 0. This is the one out of the last 10 years worth of double dies is the one to own, and it's worth quite a bit of money. There isn't too much secondary market sales activity, but there is a brilliant and circulated newly minted example on eBay current to this video for about $1,400. I don't think it's worth that. You know, I believe it's worth in that $200 to $300 range in mint state condition. But this is the one to look for out of all of them. But you should look at all of them because there's quite a bit of them out there for the taking. And because of their place in today's variety collecting, these are very important. Okay, but these will be ones that will disappear over time because these are copper-coated zinc coins. These are not made to last. For those of you that have collected Lincoln pennies in the last 20 years, you guys know exactly what I mean. These coins deteriorate from the inside out. So the survival rate of these coins, I hate to say it, but it was kind of pre-planned. These things are made to disintegrate over time, if not taken care of. So that's why I believe that these coins are going to be, say, 20 years on down the road. These are going to be extremely tough to find. So make the most of it that you can today. Find all the examples that you can. This is a tremendous variety. So I'm happy to say that finally the Denver Mint folks on the West Coast, that would include myself, have something to look forward to. So the next most impactful variety out there is going to be the 2018D. This is a recent discovery, doubled ear Lincoln Shield set. Okay, I only have to show you one picture, and that's the actual diagnostical feature of the doubling on the ear. You have an extra earlobe, which is apparent. Now, this makes sense because on a single squeeze, a lot of the doubling will traditionally occur like toward a middle rotation manner where everything's centered on the coin. Which kind of goes against the philosophy, you know, based off of the previous like 6 coins I talked about, because, you know, the dates doubled, Liberty, you know, it really depends on the coin. But in this particular case, this doubled ear 2018D will set kind of a trend of a new wave of different variety hunting. Okay, I believe as of this video, someone had also discovered a brand new 2019D doubled ear lobe, which is similar to this 2018D, which is the first along the line of doubled coins, doubled ear coins that have been discovered here in the last 2 months. I was actually the first one to record a sale on eBay, and I sold my example. I actually found a cache of them. I sold my example for about $37, and that's about what the market value is on these coins. And they have since maintained that $30 to $35 price point for these coins. So if you are sorry, I can't even think. If you are on the West Coast, okay, and you're looking for something really, really spicy, the 2018D doubled ear Lincoln Shield scent is definitely the ticket in town. So you'll want to keep an eye out for this coin specifically. So that's that one there. So the last coin that I wanted to talk about, actually we have a couple more, all right? So am I going to be talking about Lincoln cents in this whole video? No. Thank God we have one other very impactful double die. One in which this one is old enough that it's starting to disappear, and not a lot of surviving examples do exist, okay? And that is the 2009D. This is the Denver minted District of Columbia quarter, okay? This is the territorial quarter. During that last final year in 2009, after the 50 state statehood program came to a close, they did a 1-year, you know, one-shot type affair where they had the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., they had Mariana Islands, Guam, among a few others. But this one that you see here, this is Double Die Reverse FS801, a consummate cherry picker's guide delight. If you're out looking at quarters and you are not looking for this coin, you are leaving possibly many thousands of dollars on the table. This coin, as of today, there are about 5 or 6 surviving examples which have been graded by PCGS. And the reason why that this coin matters is this is the big doubled die in the last 10 years. Now, there have been a few other impactful double dies, but they all come back to the Washington, D.C. 2009 D. Now, I'll also throw in there as an honorable mention, there is the 2015 Homestead Quarter, in which you have the double pump handle and the double window panes. But you have a number of coins out there that exhibit to a lesser degree some doubling. Okay, so there's going to be a few kind of like outward type of double die varieties that exists within the national park quarters, but the one that you're gonna want to try and find is this 2009 D District of Columbia double die reverse quarter. Okay, this one is absolutely amazing, as you can see on the graphic. And then finally, the final most impactful variety in U.S. coinage has got to be the 2009 Philadelphia formative years. Okay, this is Lincoln sitting on a log. Lincoln cent, okay, in 2009. All right, this is a big year because it was the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln penny series. So what the U.S. Mint did is they did a one-shot which encompasses, what, 4 designs? 4 different reverse designs, from the log cabin to the formative years to when he was in the presidency, and then one other one. So the second one, where he's sitting on a log reading a book, thankfully someone had discovered one variety in which, as you could see on this particular image, someone had discovered one of these 2009 formative years. And by the way, they're all Philadelphia minted coins. Sorry to burst your bubble for you guys on the West Coast. Someone had noticed that Lincoln has an extra thumb, or a doubled thumb. There you go. So one thing led to another, and then more people were beginning to discover different variants, different die pairings, I guess, of this double die reverse. And then by the end of it all, there are a number of dozens of various die pairings, different diagnostical double die reverses for the formative years Lincoln penny. These, when they first came out, were selling between about $15 to $20, like pop shots. People were finding full rolls of these. They were selling the full rolls for between $400 and $500 at the time. It was a huge cash grab, and it just it took a big hit in the market because these things were plentiful out there in the marketplace, and they continue to be so today. Now, here's the thing. If you guys have been searching through Lincoln cents with enough regularity, you guys will find out that these coins are disappearing at a rapid rate. Okay, number one. Number two, if you do find them, they're in pretty rough shape. The last box of pennies I went through, I found probably about 7 or 8 of the various 2009 Lincoln commemorative pennies in there, and they all look pretty shot. They were stained, they were scratched, you know, we had plating blisters, they were spotty and everything else. These things are starting to disappear. Now, finding full, kind of like very red, lustrous coins are getting tougher by the day. In 10, 20 years, it's going to be extremely difficult, and especially if you're looking for the doubled thumb formative years Lincoln cents, you're going to have an even tougher time, because the survival rate of these coins, much like the double die obverses of 2009 and 2019, are going to dwindle because of their composition. Again, copper-coated zinc coins don't have the kind of durability that the previous 98% copper bronze planchets did pre-1982. So that, guys, of course, you've seen, you know, a few images of the different types of doubled thumbs. Okay, very neat, exciting stuff. But that, guys, wraps up the most impactful varieties that you guys should be looking for in your coins today, because they just simply won't exist a couple decades later from now, and they're going to be even more valuable. All right, the lesser amount of them that exist out there, okay, that's going to drive the prices up on some of the more popular ones. Like, take for example that 2018 double die obverse #1 Lincoln Shield set. That's going to be a coin that's going to be extremely tough to find. All right, to today they're tough to find, and then people are asking a huge amount of money for them, and then someday someone's going to pay that and then set a new pricing trend for that particular coin. And you don't want to be around when that happens. You want to be able to find your own example and add it to your collection or sell it, because it's worth a lot of money today. So I want to thank you guys for joining in, as always. Hopefully I didn't go long-winded on this one. There's a lot of content to talk about as we get close to the point of the year in which coin roll hunting is going to produce and provide a lot of tremendous new material out into the marketplace. You guys should know exactly what to look for. Okay, you guys, again, on the East Coast, you guys are going to have a very fun hunt. But I would encourage anybody everywhere across the nation to check out their change for these coins, because these coins will be worth a lot more money in 5 years, 10 years. Okay, you're gonna want to find your own pieces, guys, and not have to worry about buying them yourself. If you're looking to sell them so that way you could hedge and make money for other desires, you could do that too. There's nothing wrong with that. I do that. It's a lot of fun. But I want to thank you guys. You guys have a wonderful day, and would love to hear your, your hunting successes. That's what it's all about. We're all in it together to find some of the bombest coins that you can find. So you guys take care. Have a wonderful day. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell for instant notifications, and make sure that your settings is on public. All right. You guys take care. Have a good one.